Hi, in this video we are going to learn how to count in the Sorani dialect of the Kurdish language. So in this video we will focus on the Sorani dialect of Kurdish. Each number will be shown in the Kurdish Latin alphabet. At the time of making this video, in the year 2021, we see multiple writing systems being used to write in Kurdish. The Kurdish Latin alphabet, however, is currently used in the Kirmancî and Zazaki dialects of Kurdish. Meanwhile, it is being used more and more in the other dialects too. Many of the numbers in this video may be pronounced differently by many people, depending on the regional accents that they speak. However, the true standardized version of each number will be presented. So, let's start. 0. Heech. Heech. 1. Yek. Yek. 2. Du. Du. 3. Se. Se. 4. Çwar. Çwar. 5. Pênc. Pênc. 6. Shesh. Shesh. 7. Hewt. Hewt. 8. Hesht. Hesht. 9. Nor. Nor. 10. De. De. So let's review the numbers that we've looked at. You may pause the video here and see how many you can remember. Welcome back. The numbers from 0 to 10 are Heech, Yek, Du, Se, Çwar, Pênc, Shesh, Hewt, Hesht, Nor, De. The numbers from 11 to 19 are quite simple. Each of these have the number 10, De, as the suffix, so at the end of the word. For example, the number 11 would have Yans, representing Yek, the number 1, followed by the suffix De. So, 11 would be Yans De, Yans De. 12. Duans De, Duans De. 13. Sians De, Sians De. 14. Çwar De, Çwar De. 15. Pans De, Pans De. 16. Shans De, Shans De. 17. Hev De, Hev De. 18. Hej De, Hej De. 19. Noz De, Noz De. 20. Beast, Beast. So, let's review these numbers. You may pause the video here and see how many you can remember. Welcome back. So the numbers from 11 to 20 are Yans De, Duans De, Sians De, Çwar De, Pans De, Shans De, Hev De, Hej De, Noz De, Beast. The number 21 in Kurdish can be translated to English exactly as 20 and 1. The letter U, on its own translates to and in English. Every number between 20 and 100, except for multiples of 10, follow this simple rule. This means that you would only need to memorize the numbers 20, 30, 40, 50, and so on. So, 21 would be Beast u Yek, Beast u Yek, Beast u Yek. 22. Beast u Du, Beast u Du. 23. Beast u Se, Beast u Se. 24. Beast u Çwar, 24 25 25 25 26 26 26 27 28 28 28 28 28 29 29 29 30 C. So now we know that if we wanted to say 31, we would say siujek, and if we wanted to say 32, we would say siudu. So now we will count up in tens. 40 chill, chill. 50 penja, penja. 60 chest, chest. 70 heftar, heftar. 80 heshtar, heshtar. 90 noed, noed. 100 said, said. We will now review the multiples of 10, starting with 10 and going up to 100. Before we check our answers, you may pause the video here. Welcome back. The multiples of 10, starting with 10 until 100 are de, beast, sea, chill, penja, chest, heftar, heshtar, noed, said. So let's practice with some examples. What would the number 45 be in Kurdish? You may pause the video here. Great. So the number 45 would be chilu pinch. Chil 40, u and pinch 5. Chilu pinch. So what would 71 be in Kurdish? You may pause and attempt this question. "71" would be heftar u yek. Heftar 70, u and yek 1. Heftar u yek. Here is our final example. What is 98 in Kurdish? You may pause here. "98" would be newed u hesht. Newed 90, u and hesht 8. Newed u hesht. Now that we've practiced numbers until 100 and we know that 100 is said, let's look at multiples of 100. 200. So the number 200 would be du said, and this can be translated exactly into English as 200, du said. This simple rule applies to each multiple of 100. So 300 would be se said, 400 chwar said, 500 penj said, 600 shesh said, 700 helt said, 800 hesht said, 900 nor said, 1000 hazar. So, the same rule that we applied for every multiple of 100 also applies for every multiple of 1,000. So, for example, 10,000 would be de hazar. 100,000 said hazar. We will now review the multiples of 100 and then the multiples of 1,000. Before we check our answers, You may pause the video here. The multiples of 100, starting from 100 and ending with 1,000, are sed, du sed, se sed, chwar sed, panj sed, shesh sed, hewt sed, hesht sed, nor sed, hezar. As multiples of 1,000 follow the same rule as multiples of 100, 2,000 would be du hezar, and 3,000 would be se hezar, and so on. So 10,000 would be de hezar, and 100,000 would be sed hezar. We will end the lesson with 3 examples that are more tricky. Take some time to apply the rules that you have learnt when forming these numbers, and I am sure that these will soon become simple for you. Let's start with the number 985. Great. 985 would be nor sed o heshtau pinch. Nor sed 900 u and heshtau pinch 80 and 5 85. Nor sed o heshtau pinch. Let's attempt this example now. 6,017. This number would be shesh hezar u hevde. Shesh hezar, 6,000, u and hevde, 17. Shesh hezar u hevde. Our final example will be a much larger number, 100,234. You may pause the video here. Excellent. This number would be sed hezar u du sed u si u chwar. Sed hezar is 100,000. U and du sed 200. U and si u chwar 34. Sed hezar u du sed u si u chwar. Thank you for watching this video on how to count in the Sorani dialect of the Kurdish language. We will see you again soon.